Hey, how's it going, Leo? Welcome to the channel. My name is Robin and this is my channel, AriesFireTarot. So thanks for joining me today, guys. So if you follow my channel, you know that like the pace of my readings, I do a monthly reading and then I do a wealth and abundance reading. I do a star guide reading, and then for the fourth week of the month, I do a bonus read. So I find different kinds of readings to do to help you guys on your journey. And I found this really interesting one called The Mother Wound. And the purpose of this reading is to help clear negative energies and karmas from the maternal bloodline so that you can release any like negative energy trapped in your body related to your maternal bloodline. And this can happen regardless of your relationship with your mother. You could have had an amazing mother. You may not have known your mother, you know, for whatever circumstances. You know, sometimes there's inexplicable blockages that are present because of a mother wound. So I hope this is a helpful reading, you guys. Be prepared. These are a little bit intense. It could be a little bit emotional for you, but it could also be really healing for you. So I chose the Good Tarot to do this reading, and I hope it does resonate, you guys, and I hope it does help in your healing on your journey. But do keep in mind, this is a general read also. So let me know what you think, guys, of the comments in the comments, and let me know if this was able to help resolve any sort of pain that you've been carrying with you. So anyways, I'm gonna jump right in, guys. So we're gonna look at, the first card is gonna look at a message from your maternal grandmother. So your mom's mom. And this is regardless of, you know, if people are still in your life, if you don't speak to them, if they're alive or deceased. I'm looking at the energy of your maternal grandmother. So message or maternal bloodline. So your maternal grandmother, she has this message for you of strength. Hold on. So this is the Strength card from the Good Tarot. And when we look at the Strength card, it really channels in the divine feminine aspects of strength. So, I mean, there's different ways, like, and everybody has mixtures of divine femininity and divine masculinity. So the message from the maternal grandmother here is to tap into your divine feminine aspects to carry yourself with greater strength through your life. And you do have the Lion here, you know, so you could have a real connection to cats. You could have a spirit animal, a totem animal that is the lion or another big cat. You might do really well to have a cat in your home, actually. They're great conduits. And if you're really pursuing things like channeling your spirits and guides, like having a cat in the house is really good. And I'm getting all of this from your maternal grandmother. And she's saying, you know, really look at divine feminine ways of bringing your strength to the surface, and maybe not rely on divine masculinity. Divine masculine is completely different energy, obviously. So I think there's a really deeper message here for you guys, and it could be different. Like if all of you went and researched divine feminine strength, you probably come up with a different browser or different results and be guided to a different link. So I think this is a little bit of homework for you guys, and it won't take long. So your maternal grandmother wants you to tap into your divine feminine strength and know that you come from a long line of divine feminine strength. So this is really interesting to start with. What lesson do I have to learn because of my mother? So we've got the King of Water here. So the King of Water is this really creative entity, you know, and he's very emotional, and you know, he relies on his intuition as a guidance system, and he's really bringing in the big fish here. So like I'm seeing for some of you, your mother had to really be creative in how maybe she earned her living and how she dealt with things. It may have been a long and twisted, winding path for your mother to get to where she wanted to go. People could have viewed her as being not like normal for some reason, and just sort of off the beaten path. Like some of you could have had kind of like a free spirit, or you know, and I'm getting for some of you, you could have had somebody that was considered maybe a hippie, or you know, somebody that like sort of colored outside the lines of life. So this is showing you that you don't always have to follow like the beaten path. You can go outside the lines and be very, very successful. So I'm seeing here that you know, the message from your maternal grandmother and the lesson from your mother is to like follow your heart a little bit more and follow your intuition, and just see where that takes you. You know, you don't have to follow anybody's direct path, like the expected path of the overall societal norm, right? Just took a bit of a tea break. So like I'm seeing here too that, you know, your mother, she may have had to really put up with a lot of flack is the word I'm getting from other people, like mocking her for not conforming, right? So, and she had to stand really strongly in that, to not let other people like tame down that wild heart, that wild spirit that she may have had, or that, you know, to follow a different path that nobody thought that she should take. So like this is saying, like, really don't be like, be unafraid, be strong, like be like a force of nature in following your path. Okay, so let's see, we've got a message here from higher angels for you. So you've got the Six of Water, and this is like just such a tragic Six of Water. You know, this is like watching things go by, and this is the meaning of this card. It just says to me that your life is so fluid, and you're only going to be able to touch that moment once, you know? So really live in the moment for who you are with the Six of Water. And the angels are saying they want you to experience life to its fullest and express yourself for who you are. And that's what I'm seeing here through here, Leo, is that you're really being guided to like take the leap, like whatever it is that you want to do, like if whatever it is that you want to do, regardless of what other people expect from you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to take a specific job or go to a specific school or date a match, like a potential love match that is more suited to your parents than it is to you. So like, you're never going to get this back again. You only get one go around. So you want to make it where you don't feel trapped between a rock and a hard place, sort of looking at everything go by you. I mean, the time to leap is now. Do you know what I mean? So you have some really interesting cards here. The best quality I inherited from my mother. So here's the Queen of Air, and I love the Queen of Air because she's so focused on what it is that she wants to do with her life. You know, she's taken on this sort of fierce, I almost get like a bird of prey energy from her, where she's going to do whatever it takes to protect herself and her family. And again, following the path that suits her in this lifetime. You know, she's gonna fly to the highest of her ability, whether she's being supported by friends and family or not. So this is something that you can really look at from your mother, and maybe while you were growing up, you know, if people are a little bit outside of what people expect them to be, you might think they're a little bit weird, or you know, somebody could have said something to you about your mom being weird or not being she's less than what people expected, you know, because I really see this wild free spirit that people couldn't tame, and maybe she was mocked a little bit for it, or you heard that mocking and it kind of made you feel a little bit like, no, I wish I had a different mom. But you didn't have a different mom. You know, you had the one that you have now. And she also probably did everything possible to protect you in her own way. You know, this is the Queen of Swords. She really, really like she did her best in all circumstances, but I'm seeing that it probably was viewed differently by the larger circle, and it was kind of a difficult road for her to keep on going forward and keep her chin up and keep that smile on her face, because there was a lot of pressure from other people to behave in a different way. But she was too much of a free spirit. So this is an amazing quality to inherit, is that free spirit, and knowing that, you know, you're here to do your own thing. And this is sort of the trend I'm getting here so far from the angels and your maternal bloodline. So let's see what the worst quality I inherited from my mother is. So we've got the 7 of air, and this one also keeps on coming up in these readings. And the 7 of air, hold on you guys for a sec. Whoa. So I just want you to listen to these keywords here on the 7 of air: independence, non-conformity, living life on one's own terms without people pleasing. So it's like that really amazing quality of being able to follow your own path. It's basically a double-edged sword, right? Because you're seeking your own freedom, but it's going to come at the cost of people's approval. And sometimes people will outright send you to, you know, Extinction Island. I just watched Survivor last night. You know what I mean? Because people don't like different. You know, they don't, it makes them uncomfortable. It reminds them that they're not following their own heart and their own path. So it's like the best and worst quality that you learned is the same quality, but it's a very difficult load to carry, because you could also carry the burden of 98% of your family, where they're, okay, follow this cookie cutter path because that's what everybody was put on earth to do. But meanwhile, you're like, but what if that doesn't make my heart sing? You know, but at the same time, I don't want to disappoint everybody. And then, oh, well, look at what my mother went through, because she wasn't accepted by the family because she had a completely different idea of what her life should look like, and everybody hated her for it. So it's a real dichotomy, and I think that it's something that you kind of need to resolve here with the 7 of air and the Queen of air. So it's kind of like, you know, you can see the Queen of air, she's sort of facing the world with the best quality, with this smile on her face, and like, yeah, this is me. And you know, but then there's also this desolation with the 7 of air. So it's like there was a lot that you didn't see in private. You know, I mean, she carried this, and the same thing could be happening to you. You know, you could be like doing your best to blaze trails in your life, and then in your solitude thinking like, why aren't people supporting me? Like, and why isn't this going better? So that's a big one, you guys. And then maybe hearing that, you might be able to understand why your mother always seemed like out on a precipice of weirdness. Do you know what I mean? So let's see the next card here. What did my mother hope for me? You've got the Fool card, and like, this is such a beautiful card to come in at this time, you guys, because like your mother really just wanted you to live your own life, right? The Fool card is the beginning of the major arcana, and it's the start of a new journey. And she wanted you to have this fresh, like wild, uninhibited, no ceiling type of a lifestyle, you know, and just to be who you are, like be unapologetically who you are as you walk your path through life, and like toot your own horn and dance like nobody's watching. And through everything else that was going on in your family, your mother really just wanted you to be you and have your own happy, blessed life. So I just love this card that's coming in here. Like, and maybe you'll start to understand a little bit where she was coming from and why she might, like, and this, again, this is a general reading, but I think for some of you, it might be able to unravel sort of what was going on a little bit. And let's keep pushing on. So what did my mother have to sacrifice for me? The 9 of water here, you guys. So, I mean, the 9 of water, it really talks about being with friends and family and celebrating and having a great time. So it looks like there was some sort of disassociation for your mother, you know, and being, you know, put out a little bit from other people because there was no understanding or acceptance from, there was no support for her on a large scale, you know. So there was a lot of things that she did with her chin up and went pushing on forward, but she did it on her own, you know, and she did it maybe with a little bit of, you know, her heart breaking along the way, because it's no picnic walking your own road with nobody around you, you know. It's like, imagine watching a football game with no audience. It's completely different. Do you know what I mean? There's like, if you turn the sound off and there's no cheering, it's just people playing the game with nobody helping them. So it's like she really had to sacrifice, you know, that love and support from the people that should have been there for her to walk her own path and to follow her karmic journey. So what lesson did my mother learn because of me, right? And this is you guys, obviously. So we've got the World card here, and this is, what lesson did my mother learn because of me? That absolutely anything is possible. You know, maybe she got to look at things through your eyes and see that, and I'm getting the word here like everyday hero, because of your, you know, your great big Leo heart, like, and everything is open and beautiful and loving. And I'm really seeing here that because of you, she was able to change her perspective a little bit and see that there is a bigger box, you know, outside of the box that she may have grown up in or been relegated to. And there was something about your heart and your strength that opened her up to a whole different degree here. And she learned that anything was possible. So I think you may have a real strange dichotomy going on here, where there was almost kind of like an oppression between your relationship, but it might be coming to a different position now where you might be able to understand each other a little bit more through your own life experiences and what was going on there. And I'm actually being guided to pull one more card here for you, Leo. And I didn't do this for any other sign, but I feel like there's kind of like a loop that needs to be closed somehow. So hold on. We've got the Justice card. So, I mean, if you think that something should have happened and it didn't happen in your childhood, it looks like it's really going to, there is going to be some sort of communication coming in where you might suddenly, you know, when you suddenly understand something, when you've been studying something or somebody's been trying to teach you something, and all of a sudden a bright light goes on. And this card, it looks like, it basically says that justice will be served and there's a decision going to be made in your favor. And it's like, if there was any sort of difficulty between you and your mother, it looks like it's going to be resolved and suddenly, you know. It could be like there's going to be a sudden click in your relationship where you either understand what happened for the duration of your lifetime until now, and for some of you, you could attain a new level in your relationship. And it doesn't mean like if you don't get along with your mother, that's fine, but you might understand her. And it's like, again, it's totally okay to forgive people and not let them back into your life. But there is something coming in here where it's going to, things are going to make sense. You're going to have maybe an aha moment, and maybe this reading helped you out a little bit. But you guys had a really, really good reading for this mother wound. So I hope it was helpful, guys. So let me know in the comments what you think. And thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. Bye.